It is time for two cricketing giants to take centre stage. A rivalry that is as old as time, 156 years. These teams have created history that cannot be forgotten. This Saturday, they battle once more, this time for Champions Trophy silverware. I am talking about England versus Australia. This is my predicted 11 for Australia and for England. Look, both teams are coming off quite big losses. Australia in Sri Lanka and England in India. But for Australia, this is a very familiar recipe. You know, they tend to lose before big tournaments and then they come in and win it. For England, on the other hand, they've not been having a very good time of things of late. Will England be allowed to play their Bazball style of cricket? Because Pakistan is known to be one of their kingdoms. You know, flat carpets. People like Harry Brook, they're a big fan of those. Australia, on the other hand, will the bowling replacements be able to fill the shoes of one of the greatest fast bowling trios in the history of the game? Would you make any changes to these 11? Put it down in the comments. Key matchups is obviously going to be how the hell and who the hell is going to get out Travis Head. Now, in the 5 ODIs that England played against Australia in England, Travo played 4 of them and Cast dismissed him 3 times. Bowled, nicked off and even caught. So, the man definitely has a couple of plans versus Travis Head. Again, one of Travis's weaknesses, or so everybody says, I'm not seeing people incorporate this plan often enough, bowling short balls to him at the beginning of his innings. Mark Wood, Jofra Archer, some of the best in the business at doing that. So will they be able to dismiss Travis Head? Maxwell versus Adil Rashid. Look, Adil Rashid is number 1 for a reason. The man is very difficult to play. We also know that if Maxwell gets off to a good start, there is no stopping this guy. 250, 300 strike rate, and especially the options that he's got against spin, I mean, it's astronomical. So that is going to be a big battle for me. Will Adil Rashid be able to dismiss Maxwell before he can wreak havoc? Here's a bit of an interesting one that I don't think we've got too many stats of, but you know, the left-handed batter Duckett versus the left-arm quick Spencer. I think that's going to be a very interesting battle. The power play is always important. It's an important phase of the game. If a team gets off to a good start, 100+ runs, very difficult to pull that back sometimes, especially on those flat decks. If Ben Duckett can be dismissed early, that could be a big plus for Australia because he's one of those guys that can really take the game away from you. Buttler versus Zampa. Look, there's no secret about it. Zampa has got Buttler's name. Zampa is always key for Australia. Ricky Ponting actually goes as far as to say if Zampa doesn't play well, Australia doesn't win. So will Zampa be able to control those middle overs? And will he be able to get rid of probably one of the most informed batters in that England side, Jos Buttler? That is going to be a fascinating battle for me. And finally, we cannot have a talk of England and Australia without mentioning the stalwarts of both teams, Stephen Smith and Joe Root. Look, you can go as far as you want and point out a multiple number of matchups. The thing about it is that those two are incredibly difficult to dismiss. They don't give their wickets away. They like batting long. They love being the anchors and then accelerating later on in the innings. So those two players are going to be key. If you can dismiss either one of those two early, it's going to be a big way forward towards winning the match. Drop in the comments, how do you think England should dismiss Stephen Smith and how do you think Australia should dismiss Joe Root? Prediction-wise, I think it's quite tough actually with the 3 fast bowlers missing. It does feel like things are kind of like balanced out, evened out. My gut feeling is telling me Australia. However, if England get Travis Head very early on, that kind of turns the tables completely because we know how threatening Travis can be. He even scored 150 in the first ODI versus England. I think it was in Nottingham. So if they can dismiss Travis, by all means, England have every chance in the world. And also England love playing in Pakistan. But my gut is saying Australia. What do you think?